walk out. I'll leave Benz, I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now. I'm too on one day on my third. I was too broke, now I'm too rich. Made $100K on my third shift. I'm a boy, so.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Houston Texans. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. The numbers for him from a week ago, 20 carries, 95 yards.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Mayfield looks to throw. This is intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey. Four down. All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney!
This is Brown on the carry. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Detroit! Over!
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
They go play action here on first down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Hodges. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
He's going to get it running right, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
So backed up to the 6 now, 3rd and goal.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Leopard. Leopard.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's Mayfield under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright. And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run it here with Brown. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Hodges. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Back to throw here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. In for the score. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and the result a Houston touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And they'll run it here. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football? It says finish on it, because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And now out comes Houston. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
On play action, they'll throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that's caught inside the 30. A big play there just before halftime. 55 yards. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. No. Check. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've come upon an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Detroit! Set! 3-19! 3-19! Gun!
He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Elliott good with a PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know that they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. It's taken to the 26. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. They'll set up to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Now. 3-19.
Now it's Brown. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
They're going to look to throw. A quick throw, but incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Hey, now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Texans continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know there are plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Mayfield now from the 50. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're great.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point right down the middle, and that will shave one more off this lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Uses the spin. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And got his man complete. A huge play there for Houston. 53 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
He'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Fielded at the 33. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Houston. They can now enjoy the final stages of this one. A very convincing win. I don't know what was said in the locker room, but whatever it was, it worked pretty well.
It certainly did, and it's probably a capper to everything that was said during the week. because they go over every eventuality. I mean, you know how coaches are. They want to cover every minute detail, all the way up to how much time does it take to walk from the locker room to the field, you name it. When it all comes together,
he's got it at the 15. And he'll be taken down inside Carolina's 15. A big-time play there for the Texans. 43 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
56. Lucky 56. Over.
They'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
Detroit. Over.
They'll set up a throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to, because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set. Green 39.
One last shot from Mayfield here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Texans, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.